I'm bored. Let's watch Ryan Kennel. All right, board fam. So we are still flop watching The Mandalorian and Grogu. It looks like the movie is sort of tapped out at the box office. So eventually it'll be on VOD, paid VOD, and then streaming. And they'll probably make another 50, 100 million on that. And then it'll end up just south of 500. I think it's okay. Will we get a sequel to this movie? Probably not. But it definitely didn't do the numbers that I think they wanted to see. It's a little bit short of what I think they wanted to see. This was never going to be a $1 billion movie. I don't care what these guys, what story they try to spin for you. This was never a $1 billion film. But yeah, it looks like it's going to tap out somewhere between 315 and 325, which isn't the worst. It's not worst case scenario. But again, I don't think this is where they wanted it to be. And that's fine. I don't really care too much about the box office numbers. As I said before, it's all bro math. It's all guesstimation. So now that we're beyond this, in this video clip from Ryan Kennel, we're going to be talking about Brendan Wayne, who has worked on The Mandalorian and Grogu, and some of the comments that Brendan has made. And so let's go ahead and just get into that video clip.
Somebody who took part in this movie, probably played a pretty big role, is speaking out against toxic fans. Because yes, toxic fans must be the reason why no one went and watched your shit. It couldn't possibly be that the current state of Lucasfilm and Disney Star Wars has been so abysmal for so long that people were just sick and tired of it.
Okay, so there's two objective takes here, right? You have Brendan, according to Ryan, and we're going to look at the full quotes here. According to Ryan, Brendan is blaming toxic fans on the failure of The Mandalorian and Grogu's box office. Now, that is a very specific thing. That's not speculation. It's not vague. It's a very specific thing. Brendan is calling out toxic fans for the disappointing box office of The Mandalorian and Grogu. And it's also the article we're looking at here on Geeks and Gamers, where it's titled, Mandalorian suit actor Brendan Wayne blasts toxic Star Wars fans while defending The Mandalorian and Grogu's box office failure. So we're going to look at his statements. I don't know how much they're going to put in this Geeks and Gamers article, if Ryan's going to read the whole thing. I have no idea. But it's a subjective thing. Like, Ryan is saying that he believes it's a disappointment in Star Wars from the fans out there that make these movies bad, right? That's what it is. Whereas Brendan, according to him, is trying to defend the failure of the movie on the behavior of the fans. So let's see if we can get there.
It has to be toxic fandom's the reason. How dare you want something to fail when the people who work there, when the IP has completely betrayed you? How dare you do that?
Okay, so again, this is that gray area that these guys live in. This is where narrative begins. So what's happening here is he's saying that Brendan's statements leave no room for criticism. It leaves no room for people to just not engage with something, right? So if you don't like Star Wars, you're toxic, and you're not allowed to be toxic. You have to be positive about Star Wars. These are the statements that Ryan is making here in regards to Brendan's comments, which we haven't seen yet. He hasn't read anything yet. So, and I'm letting him get to it. I want him to get to it first before I get to it, because I actually have the article with all of the quotes, like the full statements. He's going to be reading from geeksandgamers.com because this is the human centipede of outrage content. Let's continue.
But that's where we are. Mandalorian suit actor Brendan Wayne blasts toxic Star Wars fans while defending The Mandalorian and Grogu's box office failure. Now, from what I remember, Brendan Wayne actually was, he was somebody who spoke out. I believe Brendan Wayne's one of the people who actually supported Gina when she was going through all that stuff, when she got fired by Disney and Lucasfilm.
I don't think that's true. I looked this up earlier just to see, and I can't find any proof of it. So I don't know if Brendan Wayne actually had anything to do with Gina Carano at all. Again, I couldn't find anything. I mean, if it is, you can let me know in the comments, but I don't think that's true. So I don't know why he's even saying this without looking it up. I would have probably looked it up before I said something like this. It's a pretty big statement.
And all of that stuff. I think he was supportive of her. But now that he's taking part in something that is flopping disastrously so, he can't help but say the company line. Blame.
Oh, okay. So what proof do you have of that? What proof do you have that Brendan Wayne was given orders from Disney to go out as someone that people just generally don't know? Like, no offense, Brendan Wayne does a great job, but he's not someone that people know in association with the movie. Like, if they were going to have someone go out and pull the company line and defend it. It'd be someone like Pedro Pascal or someone else associated with the film. Why Brendan Wayne? That doesn't make any sense. And you don't have any proof of it. Also, what's the connection between him defending Gina Carano, but also calling out bad behavior? Why are those things polar opposites for you? Why does that doesn't connect? Those things don't connect together.
Blame the fans. It's always the fans' fault. And let's just get it straight. It doesn't matter whether it's Kathleen Kennedy or Dave Filoni in charge of Lucasfilm. This is the policy at Lucasfilm.
But you have no proof of that. Just say things without proof. I mean, that's what it is with these guys. Again, it's that gray area they live in. They just say stuff and nobody checks them on it. I get a bunch of their brain dead minions in the comments. They're like, no, actually, they're right. Based on what, bro? Based on what? They don't know anything. These guys don't know what they're talking about.
Blame the fans.
And also, when you're talking about toxicity or racism or bigotry or whatever, who gives a fuck if they're fans? Who gives a shit? If you have a customer in a store who is being racist to one of the employees, and they're like, get your racist ass out of our store, you'll be like, oh, they're attacking the customer? No, they're telling the racist to get the fuck out of the store. If people are being toxic, like this is, I don't want to like go off on a tangent too much with this, but it's like somebody being in a relationship with someone, right? You're a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, and they're being abusive to you. Are you supposed to just be okay with it because if you call them out on it, you're attacking your partner? No, this is ridiculous. If somebody is participating in bad behavior, it doesn't matter who the fuck they are. No one is above criticism or accountability for bad behavior. No one is. So even if they are fans, if they're being bigoted and hateful and talking bullshit, you should call them out. That doesn't mean you're attacking them. This is such a weird narrative framing from these guys.
The blame game surrounding Disney Star Wars struggles is showing no signs of slowing down. And now one of the actors behind Din Djarin himself weighs in. Brendan Wayne, one of the performers who physically portrays the Mandalorian, is drawing criticism from fans after describing portions of the Star Wars fan base as toxic, while simultaneously defending the disappointing box office performance of Lucasfilm's.
Okay, so I want to hear what this is, like how they frame this, because again, Geeks and Gamers has been known to leave out important context. Also, the fact that in this article, I can't believe this, in this article, it looks like, unless my eyes are deceiving me here, they're using a Ryan Cannell video as part of their evidence of something. I hope I'm wrong, because that's the level of narcissism in covering media this way is crazy. So he's using an article that's using him as the source. That can't be right.
Latest theatrical release. Speaking in a recent interview highlighted by Star Wars Holocron on X, Wayne argued that some fans have become overly possessive of the franchise and are actively rooting against Star Wars projects because they no longer feel connected to the direction of the brand. It's interesting to see people who are pulling against the franchise they love just because of their ownership, Wayne said. That can be 100% toxic in the Star Wars world. It's to be present and to watch it, but if you don't connect, cool. But we don't need to hear how bad you are, that they ruined your Star Wars. They didn't ruin your Star Wars. It's our Star Wars.
Okay, so I don't understand what the problem is. Where's the problem in that statement? He's saying Star Wars is for everyone. You don't have to ruin it for everybody because you're not enjoying it anymore. And he gives the full statement there where he's like, cool, you don't have to. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to support it. Like, I that doesn't sound like an attack to me. It sounds like an opinion, and he's giving grace for people that don't want to interact with Star Wars anymore. If you don't want to be in the club anymore, you don't have to be here. He's like, cool. No foul, no harm. You can go. But the issue is if you're in a club or a fandom or a group of people, and you feel like it's not going the way I want it to go, and then you start trying to fuck it up for everybody else, that is being toxic. That's what that is. There's no lie in his statement. But you guys can't take it because only a hit dog hollers. You know when he says the word toxic, he's talking about you. You know that. It's already there. It's already present. It's ingrained in your community. You have aligned yourselves with the toxicity. Instead of going, he's not talking about us. He can't be talking about me. When I make videos where I'm criticizing Marvel or Disney or Star Wars in good faith, and I know that what I'm saying is not a lie, it's not spin, it's not narrative building, it's not outrage farming, it's not flop watching. If I know that that's not what I'm doing, then when he's talking about toxic fans, he's not talking about me. Because I know I'm not participating in that behavior. I know that I'm not a part of that group. If you all of a sudden feel it in your heart, in your soul, that when he talks about toxicity, he is talking about you, then quite frankly, go fuck yourself. Because you are exactly the person that he is talking about. If you feel hurt by this, it is because you understand that you are a part of the problem. We're going to look at the context behind these comments, right? We're going to look at it because so far in that statement, he's not trying to defend the Mandalorian and Grogu. I don't see defense of Mandalorian and Grogu in that statement. So let's see if there's more to it. Because otherwise, the title is a lie.
Man, oh man. It's not your Star Wars. It's our Star Wars. And look, I get it. It's not fun when the thing that you have is failing. It's not fun when there might never be any other iteration of Din Djarin.
No, it is fun for you guys. You guys love to be angry and hurt other people. You get pleasure in that. You're a bunch of people that love to fucking bully people. Like you love to bully other people because you don't think they're going to speak up and say anything back to you. And I see it from the people in my comment section that come from your channels. You've got a bunch of people feeling like they are completely immune to criticism, that nothing you do is wrong. You never make mistakes. Your takes are always right. You're perfect. You never fuck up. And that is dangerous. That's cult fucking shit. That is cult behavior. When you have a community of people that stand up for you in the face of you being wrong or being hateful or being racist or being bigoted or homophobic, and they know that you're doing it, but they convince themselves it's okay, and they go out and try to convince other people, gaslight other people that what they're seeing is not true, that is cult behavior. That's what that is. So everybody associated with this group, if you can't see the shit for yourselves, you need to break out of it. It's not good for you. Let's give them a little bit more time, and then we're going to look at the context of all of this.
And for you to hide behind a mask for you to do the physical performance stuff. I get it. At the same time, this is about the worst thing you can do. The fans are the only reason that you have a part to play in this.
Okay, so the fans are responsible for the success of Star Wars. But according to Ryan here, they're not responsible for the failure of Star Wars. Do you see how the narrative is being spun? When the movies do well, when the TV shows do well, it's because the fans are the only ones that matter. They went out, they supported it, and that's it. It's not about the great performance from the actors. It's not about the writers. It's not about the directors. It's not about anybody at the top of the tree, right? None of that matters. It's just the fan support. However, when something fails, it can't be the fans' fault. It has to be everyone else's fault. Now, they get no credit for doing the good stuff. But when the bad stuff comes around, then it's all their fault. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between, this is called narrative spinning.
It's the only reason that Disney bought Lucasfilm for $4 billion. It's the only reason that there's interest when something has Star Wars slapped on it. Do you know why?
Wait, but I thought Star Wars was dead. I thought is Star Wars not dead? Now it's back again and people have interest in it if Star Wars is slapped on it. So if I put out a Star Wars project or anything and put Star Wars in the title on it, that's going to drive interest in it because Star Wars is popular now. It's no longer dead. I didn't realize that it'd come back. But apparently when you need to make a point or you need to make an argument, magically Star Wars is returned from the grave.
Because George Lucas created something that people loved. People fell in love with it. People became obsessed with it. And people followed it for decades and decades and decades. So when that very thing that you love starts going downhill, you care. You speak out. You say something.
Right, but you don't become an abusive partner. That's the difference with what you guys are doing, right? So what you've decided to do is instead of divorce or separate from someone or something that you used to love, but you no longer love, you've decided to stay in the relationship and beat the shit out of it. Beat it up until you love it again, till you feel good about it again. Give it a black eye until it submits and does exactly what you want it to do. That's what we're seeing here. We're seeing a bunch of men who cannot let go of something they no longer love, and they've decided they're going to strangle it and beat it up and kick it over and over and over again until it learns its lesson and they can love it again for being what they want it to be. This is bad behavior. It's bad behavior. Let's go over, I want to look at the actual quotes from Brendan because I think it's important to look at what was actually said. So his comments about the toxicity in Star Wars fandom didn't really have anything to do with the Mandalorian and Grogu. He never said anything about the Mandalorian and Grogu in the quotes that I saw. So here's the interview. And it says here, Wayne addressed that issue in a panel interview with MovieWeb, which noted how nostalgia influenced Star Wars fans through the years. The conversation stemmed from Ahmed Best's guest role in The Mandalorian Season 2. He played Jedi Master Kelleran Beck in Episode 4 and in a flashback sequence. He helped rescue young Grogu during the Jedi Temple siege. Wayne said Ahmed Best's Jedi return was something that was owed to him, considering the backlash he received when he played Jar Jar Binks. This was the beginning of the statements about the toxicity. We're going to go down here. He continued, Ahmed Best might have been my favorite, whereas some people were like, hey, we didn't quite get the reaction we wanted for you, but guess what? We're going to change it all. And they had Ahmed come back in from Jar Jar Binks, and then they made him the badass Jedi on Earth. Wayne said it was a beautiful thing, human thing to see beyond. It was payback for something that was owed to him, in my opinion. He would never say something like that, but I loved it, and it was incredible. Let's follow all of this, because it's all one thing. Wayne extended that comment to the broader Star Wars conversations, which he observed can be derailed by toxic gatekeeping, which is absolutely what Ryan is doing right now and what every fucking idiot on Geeks and Gamers and Friday Night Tights does. I think it's harder to do that with Star Wars right now because you have Disney behind them, and Disney somehow has become a lightning rod in so many ways. It's interesting to see people who are pulling against the franchise they love just because of their ownership, meaning Disney's ownership. Disney's ownership. They're pulling against Star Wars because of Disney's ownership. That could be 100% toxic in the Star Wars world. Wayne said fans have every right to criticize what they don't like about Star Wars, but they don't have the right to impose their preferences on the entire community. Bingo. That is a bingo. Says here, that's like any movie, show, or theater performance. It's okay to be present and watch it, and if you don't connect, cool, but we don't need to hear how bad you are, how they ruined your Star Wars. They didn't ruin your Star Wars. It's our Star Wars. Not meaning it's Disney and Lucasfilm Star Wars. It is the community Star Wars. So this is why I really fucking love what they do over at geeksandgamers.com, because they take statements like this, they chop them up and make them into a narrative. And then they abuse Star Wars like a spouse, and they beat it up because they can't understand why they don't love it anymore. It's their fault. It's not my fault. Why do you make me do this? That's what it is. It's abusive. And what Brendan was saying here is we don't need you to do that in the house with everybody else. If you want to be angry by yourself, go outside and scream into the clouds. But you don't need to abuse everyone else in the room in order to make your feelings valid for you and for anybody else. It's okay to walk away from something you don't love. I actually suggest that. I recommend that. If you are unhappy with a movie or a TV show or something that you're not feeling anymore, walk away from it. It is the healthiest thing you can do. When you stick around to beat it up, kick it, say it's dead over and over and over again for a decade, to the point where the community that's associated with it is now full of people infighting and arguing, when you have taken part in that, when that has become part of your identity, part of the culture, part of the community that you're in, you have lost the plot. You are now in a one-sided abusive relationship with something you used to love and you no longer love. And it is unhealthy to try and strangle that thing back into submission. It's not cool. And I agree with him. It is our Star Wars. It's everybody's Star Wars. If you feel like now you are the owner and you get to make decisions about what Star Wars does as a whole, then you are delusional and you are gatekeeping.